It's a pleasure to hang out with everyone again. I am going to be playing some games with the SSL Fish Rule Soy in Rocket League SideSwipe. So we're going to start being Plat 1, and we'll see how these games go. So I did skip our first warm-up game. We did end up winning that one. Really wasn't too interesting of a game. It's pretty much the only thing. There was nothing wrong with it, but we did end up winning that one. And now that we're a bit warm, we're gonna see how we do. So I do a golden shot to try and pass, keep the ball high for my buddy Fish. Fish moves the ball around the opponent, lets me get a pass, a shot on net I mean. But the ball is so close on that finish that I actually had so much time in the world to go and finish that for Fish. Okay, the forward kickoff allows Fish a lot of time to just control the ball in the air, but I am currently still stuck on defense. I was able to maintain my flip for as long as possible and flip that ball out of danger, but I am still in defense. Luckily, both opponents are really far upfield, so we have a good chance here to push the ball out. But of course, positioning is very hard to do in SideSwipe. You're going to see me mention this a few times. It's really hard to rotate back without getting in the way in 2D. Unlike in 3D, there are places to not necessarily be in the way. 2D makes it much more difficult. But luckily, my shot on net there was finished by my opponent. I actually think I would have gone over the net. Ball is kind of stuck in the neutral field, but once it gets moved out, Fish gives me a nice high pass and I'm able to take the shot towards their side again. And Fish reads their drop down. It's able to just secure that goal. 3-1, 30 seconds left. It's still anyone's game in 2v2s. Being 2 goals down is really not that big a deal. You can see they very, very closely had a shot on net. With a little bit more boost, they would have, or a flip, they would have been able to score no problem. But because of that missed opportunity, I was able to take that ball right back to their net, and it led to a forfeit. That is a 2-goal mistake. Overall, felt pretty good playing with Fish in that game. There was one own goal, but that will happen for both of us, so I'm not too worried about that. On to game 2. We're playing against Rockets and King Gamer. So the ball goes high, I take that past both opponents. They look like they both were in the air. It's hard to say what would have been a better challenge for them. I think maybe the person who initially kicked off should have been the only one to challenge. But Fish gives me a good pass high. With that high pass, I was unable to secure it because the opponent did save it, but it was a good shot opportunity. I am still kind of floating, and once again I am kind of in Fish way, but Fish is still able to finish. That's what Fish is actually short for, finish. Put the ball over one opponent, but the ball does seem to be firmly in their possession. And Fish is controlling backwards, which is totally fine. Please do not feel afraid of taking the ball back, especially if the opponents give you space for it. If you can find the angle to do so, the spot to do so, please do. In doing so, you can see we were able to push forward pretty aggressively and just get that ball right into the enemy net. Fish passes back again. I do have kind of a harder time controlling that one, but we are still in a very strong position defensively with fish at the bottom. Hopefully this pass up after my clear, yeah, it just gives him a free goal. So fish is kind of staying on the ball, and I am expecting a pass from him, which was very risky, because if the enemy team got that ball around to either one of us, it would have been a free goal for them. Luckily it does all work out, and the opponents score for us. So once again, feeling pretty good. I think that is 2 forfeits in a row. That puts us into Plat 2 at the very beginning of Plat 2. We are starting to pass a lot more mid-game. I think that's going to be a very strong play in SideSwipe to get it around opponents and put it onto net a bit faster. We're going up against Bill and Bartkey in this match. So I just leave the ball off kickoff for Fish, let him control. We tried going for a little pinch towards their net, but ends up going right into ours. Yeah, I had a really bad clear on that shot. Once again, Fish is able to just push the ball past both opponents. The last opponent actually was staying on the ground, so it popped off the front of his car, and Fish was able to finish that. But once again, I did not get a touch on that ball to control it a bit better, and because of my low boost, I should have just let Fish take that clear, but because I was the first person on kickoff, I thought I would have a better shot to do so, but I was very wrong. Fish does give me another high pass, and I was able to read the hit, but unfortunately not able to do much with it. But I did clear the ball towards their side. And here the ball is gonna be stuck in no man's land for a long time. You notice that I did do a high pre-jump there. I was expecting another high pass from Fish, but it's not easy to get those high passes. Right there would have been a great shot for me to not have 0 boost and to read that pass that Fish gave, but luckily he was able to finish himself. Once again, I am kind of the leading on kickoff, and with my whiff, Fish is able to take control and give me a really nice pass for me to finish. Looks like both of the opponents were not in a strong defensive position to read my finish. So my pinch towards my backboard actually gave Fish a really strong offensive attempt, but he pushes the ball back and takes it forward and almost puts it on net. I pass the ball to Fish, try and get a high pass. He does understand my plan, but unfortunately I am not able to execute there. This is just going to come with time, but those kind of plays are going to be the norm. Once again, I am waiting for Fish to pass high, and he actually gets my shot towards net, but the enemy team does save it. Here, Fish should have a strong shot towards net. Both players seem to be out of boost and on our side, and that's the best time to just force the ball into their net. So there, I did not know that the enemy team would be able to go down as quickly as they did to stuff my shot, but I was doing a shot attempt there. Luckily we are still able to score. Here I put the ball around the enemy team. I wasn't actually trying to score there. I was just trying to put it past him, and Fish would have a free shot, but luckily that shot had a lot of spin, enough to spin into their goal. But that, I believe, is game 3. So passes are one of the things that we can definitely optimize in SideSwipe. I definitely think those positions where your teammate is in front of you and they have an opportunity to pass to you, that's going to be really fun and also very difficult to overcome. But luckily we just have a stronger kickoff than the opponents. We're able to get the ball past both of them, and Fish finishes and secures the goal. So they're going for a high shot, pretty straightforward on the high shot, and I'm just able to put that shot towards our net with a lot of power towards theirs, and Fish again is able to finish. So I'm reading a very high shot, which is why I was in the air for so long, but it does put me in defense with very low boost, which is very difficult position to be in. But that sequence was really nice. Fish gives me a really nice pop that allows me to control the ball in the air, almost put it at the bottom of their net, but luckily Fish is able to finish that previous play. Fish is also able to score just a free kickoff goal. But that was 100% my fault. I was not thinking of a good place to put the ball when I went up to challenge. That is one of the things that I do need to work on, is finding a place for the ball to go. Can't just hit the ball willy-nilly. There you can see I was thinking about that a little bit more. I knew that I needed more control over the ball, and so I was taking it slow. But there, I was just pushing the ball down. I really wanted that pass to go in to kind of prove my point that those passes are going to be very useful. But unfortunately, on my recovery, I helped the opponent score a goal. I'm staying in defense here, waiting for the high ball, controlling it a lot better, and trying to give Fish a good pass, but we do not capitalize on that open attempt. So I am waiting high, but Fish was no longer there to pass me the ball, so I should not have been high for as long as I was. Here's totally fine to challenge the opponents. As you can see, they did miss the ball. But we are kind of stuck on defense, and again, I am double committing with my partner, so that's not really a position you want to be in very often. Luckily with Fish, he does know to go down faster than I do. He has more game sense than I do. And because of that, he's able to recover and find himself in a great position to score a 5th goal. So he takes a slow save. And because of that slow play, the enemy team was not expecting that, and it gives me a free shot onto their net. Again, I'm double committing here with Fish, but we are 6-2 at 0 seconds, so I figure I might as well just join Fish and see if I can read a backboard shot to make the score line 7-2. That game was really fun because it gave us so many chances to make those team plays. For me, it's just so satisfying to think about the future of SideSwipe, where that becomes the norm. But now we're going against Fiber and Unknown. Do a purple shot to start us off, and Fish takes control of that, but he was unable to make a shot from there. And yeah, now the ball is stuck in no man's land. I have yet to find a really great way to get out of that in 2v2. In 1v1, I did learn a really nice tip from Nip, the preseason touch grand champ, where if you do a golden shot to get the ball out of the net, you'll get a really nice pop-up for you to control. But so far, I have not been able to reproduce it because I'm not that good. But I am able to pop the ball slightly up to give Fish a bit more of an offensive opportunity, and that puts the ball in their net. Fish is able to 50 that ball into the enemy team who's trying to defend, He went up to go into goal. You can see that that little tiny thing that I mentioned of rotating is going to be very difficult in this game. But we do score another goal. Pretty fancy. And at 53 seconds, it could still be anyone's game. Luckily, that ball does not stay in no man's land and pops off the corner, and we are getting the ball out a bit more. I think probably what's going to save the ball from getting stuck in no man's land is just giving each other space. If you want the ball to move, then move backwards. Otherwise, that ball is just going to stay stuck there. So it's really good to get that ball stuck if you are the winning team. But if you are not the winning team, you want that ball moving. So here I do a high clear, give the ball to Fish. Unfortunately, I was in the way, I didn't let that ball bounce. But the enemy team is able to move it towards their side for us. Fish pops it high. I jump high even with low boost because it didn't look like Fish was up, just in case I had a shot on net. And luckily that game still 3-0. So you can see we actually did make it to Platinum 3 in this series. We were climbing super high, super quickly. But that was a very strong 50 from the enemy team, but we are going to work with that. And again, even with not as much boost as I would like, I do still go for these challenges. It is important to not give opponents many shooting opportunities. However, right there where we were just scored on, the enemy team got the ball past me. It's important to realize what is a good challenge opportunity and what is a good defending opportunity. And there I definitely should not have challenged. I should have just gone back to net. But luckily we do recover with a slow shot from Fish. And yep, there we go. So I read the ball off the hood of their car, trying to get the ball past them. Was able to get a shot underneath the. I was able to get a shot underneath the opponents to finish the goal. So you'll notice a lot of the time we're not actually trying to score. So earlier Fish pushed the ball down far enough so that the enemy team couldn't control it in any way. This is going to be important in future ranks because the opponents getting any touch will mean they will be able to control the ball. So it is important to make sure that if you don't score, if you don't find the perfect shooting angle, don't give a pass to your opponents. But by getting the ball around, we are able to score. I pass the ball down and Fish just does a shot on an open net that the enemy team was not predicting. And I think I am learning more now that on kickoffs I do kind of just leave the ball to Fish. This isn't necessarily going to be the case every single time, and there will definitely be room for improvement as time goes on, but yeah, I tend to think that the person not on kickoff should follow up with the ball, if possible. But there, I was trying to pass the ball back and I ended up giving the ball to the enemy team. But luckily, the enemy team overcommitted, we got the ball rolling to their side and they weren't able to control the 50 that was coming. When it eventually reached their net. But yeah, same thing here. We're just doing very strong 50s, they are not really able to handle our offensive plays. As you can see, we are up 7-2. We also just have a very strong defense too. But unfortunately there, I'm not able to score an open net. Looks like the enemy team did want that. But yeah, this team, it definitely looked like they overcommitted a lot of the time. Both of them were up at the same time. And in those situations, you can always take advantage of them leaving their net wide open. So those were the games. I really hope you enjoyed them. There are going to be plenty more where those came from. Yeah, with this series, I am just trying to give as much advice as possible of my own thought process. As you know, Fish is an SSL with over 3,000 hours in Rocket League 3D. I have over 2,000 in Rocket League 3D, so combined, we do have a lot of experience just in basic positioning and shot opportunities, so hopefully our combined experience is helpful to you viewers. But please like and subscribe and comment if you enjoyed this video. It really does help me a lot. My name is Chispas, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.